Hello and welcome to our latest information video from TPAS Cymru. I'm David Lloyd and I'm here today with Bethan Proctor from an organisation called Community Housing Cymru, also known as CHC. And we're going to have a quick chat today about a new health and safety framework document for all the housing associations in Wales, which CHC, in collaboration with Welsh Government, they produced as well. Because health and safety in social housing, quite understandably, is paramount. Landlords need to protect tenants and keep tenants safe in their homes. But tenants also want to know that their home is safe and want to feel safe when they're in their home also as well. So like I said, CHC in partnership with Welsh Government have produced this new framework, first of its kind in the UK. It's called Safety First in Housing. So we'll find out a bit more about it from Bethan and what it means particularly for tenants across Wales living in a housing association home. Okay, so Bethan, firstly, do you want to just tell us a bit about CHC and the background to producing this framework?
Yeah, of course. Thanks, David. Thanks for having me as well. So Community Housing Cymru, or CHC, is the membership body for housing associations across Wales. We do a number of things, including sort of policy and helping our members with tools and resources like this to really help them to do their job as best as they can. In terms of background to Safety First in Housing, so since the tragedy at Grenfell and then the subsequent Hackett review, which was the independent review of building regulations and fire safety in the UK, it was decided that the law, so the fire safety order and building regs, just really weren't fit for purpose. So last year, the Minister for Housing and Local Government in Wales, Julie James, she announced that a white paper on changes to the fire safety laws would be published this year in 2020. So although Wales has generally a good record on fire safety, accidental dwellings are actually the lowest that they've ever been. I think with Grenfell, it just really highlighted sort of the devastating harm that can be caused. So the white paper will look at things like clarity around critical boundaries and common areas outside walls and making fire risk assessments more robust as well. But given that developing laws really can take a bit of time, we as a sector really wanted to work with Welsh Government to bring about positive change a bit quicker. So we therefore got together and worked to produce this framework for the protection of an engaging relationship between landlords and their residents, because we know from the failings of the Grenfell building that could have been rectified before the tragedy if tenants had been listened to.
Okay, and in terms of what you aim to get from the document, so it's out there, it's been produced. I understand all your members, the Housing Association across Wales, have signed up to it. What do you think the overall aim will be from that document?
Yeah, that's right. So all our members have signed up to the framework, and the aim of it really is to support housing associations to achieve and maintain a really transparent approach to health and safety matters with their residents. So as you said in your introduction, the safety of tenants is absolutely paramount for housing associations, and they work tirelessly all year round to uphold the highest possible standards. So the framework really supports the development of a safety engagement strategy based on what we've said in the framework is on 3 core principles, and they are transparency, openness, and accountability. So the framework really is a set of minimum standards for that relationship between residents and the housing association to really cement that high level of transparency and engagement. It ensures sort of responsiveness in dealing with safety-related concerns from residents. And I guess it really empowers residents as well to ensure that their voices are heard. As I said, it is minimum standards, and many housing associations will already go above and beyond what's set out here to keep their residents safe. And as a sector, actually, we are really ambitious to take these standards further. We know that a continuous dialogue with residents is really crucial to the success of this framework. And it's going to be regularly reviewed to ensure that tenants are supported on health and safety in the most effective way possible.
Okay, so is it quite a practical document in terms of, if I was a tenant looking at it to see what can I expect my landlord to be doing, whether it's sharing safety certificates or having conversations or showing how they comply with health and safety? Is it quite a practical tool as well, is it, for anyone to pick up and have a look at? Yeah.
Definitely. I would say it's a practical tool. It's set out really clearly in the framework. There are 8 clearly set out commitments that housing associations have made. So the first is really around establishing a process of relevant and comprehensible health and safety information that to be consistently issued. So this could include things like information on smoke alarms, on fire safety, fire evacuation, gas safety, electrical safety, asbestos, those type of things. And the other commitments in there, things like providing details on how to access further information on that property, ensure that information takes account of residents' differing needs, a clear process for raising concerns and complaints, including how to take these complaints then further if the resident isn't happy with the response. Ensuring that relevant interactions are monitored, nurturing awareness of health and safety issues amongst staff, clearly outlining to residents their own responsibilities as well. So there are a number of commitments that we'd hope that residents could make, as well as housing associations, and then also providing necessary support for residents to understand any information issues.
So a lot of it is around expectations that a housing association in Wales will be quite open and transparent around their health and safety. So the tenant wants information relating to their home, it's available on request, and that can be explained in different formats to them as well. But also conversations, yeah. Okay.
Exactly, and it's probably worth noting as well that housing associations will aim to achieve the commitments set out in the framework in their own unique way. So the framework allows housing associations to support their tenants to live in safe and healthy home environments without prescribing those sort of rigid methods to follow. So this really means that each housing association can meet the need of their tenants on those issues that I just listed in a way that's really appropriate for the sort of culture and practice of their own organisation, but also in a way that will suit their tenants as well.
Okay, so it's flexible enough for each landlord, perhaps depending on what types of properties they have, communal, high-rise, etc. Right,
exactly.
Depending on what those tenants' needs and perhaps those tenants' concerns are. So how do you think it'll benefit tenants in the long run by having this document a bit more of a transparent approach?
I think the whole point of the framework is really to ensure that there is that genuine two-way engagement between the landlords and tenants. So tenants will be able to benefit, if they're not already, from that effective engagement and communication with their landlord on health and safety matters. So tenants should really feel as if they're being listened to, and that their voices are being heard by those who can support them and those who can bring about any sort of changes if they're needed. So as I said before, this will be carried out in different ways by different housing associations. So it could mean written communication on specific areas, additional advice on things like smoke alarms, gas safety certificates, comprehensive explanations on maintenance use of any new equipment, on any changes to buildings. I think hopefully the whole point of this is that tenants can benefit from feeling safe and secure in their homes, and benefit from really feeling that they're genuinely being listened to. And really the aim is to empower tenants with knowledge regarding the safety of the building that they live in.
No, that's great as well, because obviously, like we said earlier on, isn't it, you know, people want to feel safe in their homes, and some people need that added reassurance. So by being able to contact their housing association landlord and ask for that reassurance in what format, but also have to have those conversations about feeling safe, and to raise concerns was an interesting point. But the expectation that tenants can raise concerns and explain how their landlord will deal with those concerns as well, isn't it? Okay.
Exactly.
So in terms of, so it's great to see that all the housing associations in Wales, all your members have signed up to that, which is a great benefit to tenants. What do you think the tenants should be asking next of their landlords then, individually, or asking their landlord about?
This is a really good question, actually, and I hope that Safety First in Housing really encourages tenants to be asking questions of their landlords on health and safety matters. I should say as well here that it's not just housing association tenants that should be allowed to ask questions on safety. or should be allowed to feel safe and secure in their properties. And I really hope that this framework can be rolled out and used as part of a basis to future regulation in Wales. So that the commitments laid out here should be applied across the whole board as a minimum standard, so that all residents of any tenure can feel really safe and secure in their homes. So I guess some of the questions that tenants could be asking of their landlords, like you said, whether or not they're housing association tenants, things like how are you implementing this framework, so how are you implementing the commitments in the framework, are you going to be drawing up a charter, what is your response to the framework, how are you engaging with me as a tenant, how are you addressing safety in accordance to my specific situation, so whether you live in a flat or a house, or if you've got certain disabilities, how can you address that specific to me, how are you planning to engage with tenants, how can you assure me about my safety in my home. These are just a few examples, and like I said, we really want the framework to encourage a more meaningful sort of tenant participation. So I'd encourage all tenants to be engaging with their landlords on this.
That's great, because it sounds like there's a real opportunity here for tenants to work with their landlord about how to make this framework live for that organisation, isn't it? In terms of perhaps where they publish this information, how they make it readily available, how they roll out awareness of this framework with their tenants as well. So I think although the framework is there, I think there's opportunities further now for tenants actually having conversations with their landlords, how they make it real within their own organisation. Okay. And so lastly, where can people see this framework? Where can they find it? Is it on your website, or is it available somewhere else? Or,
yeah, we've got it on our website. We've been sharing it on social media as well. So and of course, if anyone wants to get in contact with me, if they've got any questions about it, then please get in touch. I can provide my email address, but it is on our website. And also contact your own housing association as well to find out of them if they've got it on their own website, or if they're sharing it in other ways as well. That's probably a good idea. Okay,
so the framework is there, it's readily available, and I've had a look at it. It's a fairly easy read. It's not too long a document or difficult. So really worth having a look at that, have it print it out or download it, or ask your landlord for a copy. They should be able to give you a copy of it if you need that. But do ask and have a look at it, see what it says, and have those conversations with your landlord about what your landlord is doing, your housing association is doing to implement some of those expectations of that framework. So just to say a big thank you to Bethan from CHC, not just for today, but for pulling that document together. I know you worked with about 10 other housing associations in Wales, and you also came to our TPAS Cymru Tenants Conference in Llanfair Wales last year to help feed into that. So appreciate all your time pulling that document together. It sounds like it's going to be a real value to the housing association sector in Wales, but also to the safety of tenants in Wales as well. So thank you, Bethan, for your time. Do have a look at it, and do look out for our next information video coming soon. Thank you, folks.
Thank you.